learning relevant, exciting, engaging, they will learn lots and they will keep more. If we make it dull, uninteresting, we will learn less and keep less. And what I mean by this is this. It says study there. It's not studying, it's what the experimenters are studying. This here is project-based learning, real projects. Making learning real. Here, homework. Not homework that I had when I was young, but games-based homework. Playing on the Xbox. Using the Xbox as a tool to learn. The brain is absolutely going crazy. Here, we're asleep. Here is normal classroom teaching. And here. And here. And here. Something exciting happened there. But the question is, why is there more brain connections happening when the child is asleep than when they're in class? And not only that, why is there more brain connections happening when the child is doing chores, washing the floor, than when they're in class? Now this is new, brand new research that's happened. And what we've tried to do is make it easy for people to understand. So the person off the street...
Do you think they close their mind, their ears, and they're not hearing anything in the classroom?
Absolutely, because you're not stimulating the brain. You're not stimulating you as a human being. Our bodies have learned to survive by being stimulated. So we've looked at this and we've worked with science and said, okay, what kind of attitudes can we have? And what about the input and the output, the motivation that we will have for life? And let's plot that against. Let's plot that against this idea that how much we learn goes into nothing in the brain, the short-term memory or the long-term memory. And then let's look at the attitude itself. So me as a person, am I passive? What's passivity in a classroom? Well, science is telling me that passivity is anybody who's learned to be in a social situation. You are all being passive at the moment. Not one of you is jumping up and down. Not one of you is making a scene. You've learned to be in a social situation. Most of you are doing this. That's passive. Some of you are doing this. Science is telling me that's passive. Anything to please the big person at the front. Okay? Bigger than most. So what do we do in education? We say, passive is okay. Motivationally, it doesn't matter. They're children. We just tell them what to do. But the effect on the brain is somewhere between no effect and short-term memory. So, as educators, we're very clever with this. We go, they didn't learn it that time. I'll tell you what we'll do it again. And then we'll do it again. And then we'll do it again. And they will learn. And it will go into the long-term memory. But science coming from America 2 years ago are making suggestions now that long-term memory, through passive delivery, does this over time.
Yeah, that's true, because in school, when we used to study for exam, we'll study, remember next day, and now I don't think I remember anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that study was done in England, 16-year-olds taking their national tests. 6 months later, they did it again. How much had they forgotten? 90% in 6 months. Is that education? Not quite sure. So what do? I know what we do. We'll make it active. Let's have an active classroom. Is it better? Of course it's better. We've got higher motivation and we've got higher retention rates. Fantastic. All of a sudden, education's becoming brilliant. What do? We have to just keep doing this active stuff until we remember. But again, it does exactly the opposite. And it goes backwards. So what do we do now? And this is the pariah of education in the UK. We have Her Majesty's inspectors come into schools and say to us, if you can get children to this, you have done it. You are an outstanding practitioner. You're an outstanding teacher. If you can have your children so they're engaged, everything will be okay. Science is saying yes, it will go to the short-term memory. Yes, you get higher motivational output, but also science is saying this is where we put the glass lid, the glass ceiling on the success of our children. Because there is something higher that will instantly get into the long-term memory. Instantly. And that's when you take education and you give it a want. I want to do this. A need to do this.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
That's how evolution happened. I mean, if we wouldn't have figured out fire, we didn't need to cook something. So the whole idea is evolution is need.
You can come with me around the world. You can come with me around the world. In fact, I will sit down, you take it. You're absolutely spot on. Everything here is extrinsically driven. The teacher is telling you. The teacher is telling you. Everything here is intrinsically driven. I want it. I need it. My brain will keep it. In the UK, the schools that I've worked with in America and in Australia and now in India, if we can get our children into this area, we don't have to teach it 5 times, we teach it once. And they will remember it forever. And that is the difference. That's why we took the worst school in the English country and made it the best school in the world. That's why I go around talking to people about it. I want to give you a couple of minutes on your tables just to have a conversation around what you've heard so far, okay? And we'll do a little bit of questions, okay? Off we go. Have a little conversation, and now I'll show you how we did it.